The lyre in my hands was silent as I walked, its strings still as death. For once, music failed me. The world felt cold without her. Eurydice, my wife, my muse. She was taken from me too soon, her laughter snuffed out by the cruel bite of a serpent. My heart, once so full of song, was now hollow, each beat echoing with her absence. But grief was not enough. I could not simply mourn her. I had to bring her back. The path to the underworld was one of shadow and despair, and yet I pressed on. My steps faltered as I descended into the land of the dead, but my resolve burned brighter than the pale fires that lit my way. The air grew heavy, thick with the scent of decay and sorrow, yet I clutched my lyre tighter. It would be my weapon, my plea, my lifeline. At the gates of Hades, I played. The melody flowed from my soul, raw and unrestrained, a lament so haunting that even Cerberus, the three-headed guardian of the underworld, stilled his growls to listen. My fingers danced across the strings, weaving a song of love, loss, and desperation. The gates creaked open, and I stepped inside. Eurydice. Her name was the rhythm of my heartbeat, her face the vision that kept me moving forward. The underworld stretched endlessly before me, a labyrinth of shadows and whispers. Souls drifted past, their faces blank with the emptiness of eternity. I sang to them too, offering them a moment of beauty in their endless night. They paused, their hollow eyes filling with something that might have been hope, or perhaps envy, as I made my way to the throne of Hades and Persephone. There they sat, the king and queen of the dead, their presence as imposing as the darkness itself. Hades regarded me with a stern, unyielding gaze, while Persephone's eyes held a flicker of curiosity. "Why have you come, Orpheus?" Hades asked, his voice as deep as the chasm of Tartarus. I knelt before them and began to play again. My song spoke of Eurydice, her beauty, her kindness, the life we shared. I sang of the day she was taken from me, of the emptiness that followed. My music painted our love, pure and unbroken, a bond that even death could not sever. The notes carried my plea, not for myself, but for her, to give her a second chance at the life that had been stolen. For a moment, there was silence. Then Hades spoke. "Your music moves even the heart of death," he said. "Take her, Orpheus, but on one condition. As you ascend, she will follow. Do not look back until you both reach the surface. If you do, she will be lost to you forever." I agreed without hesitation. How hard could it be to trust, to wait? She was worth any trial. The journey back began. I felt her presence behind me, her steps light as whispers on the path. I longed to turn, to see her face, but I kept my eyes forward. The ascent seemed endless, each step heavier than the last. The silence pressed against me, filled with doubts and fears. Was she truly there, or had the gods tricked me? Her footsteps grew fainter, and my heart raced. What if I was alone? What if I had failed already? The surface was so close. I could see the light ahead, but the uncertainty consumed me. I had to know. I turned. For the briefest moment, our eyes met. Her face was as radiant as I remembered, her lips parting to speak my name. But then, she was gone. A wind, cold and unrelenting, swept her back into the shadows. Her scream echoed in my ears, a sound that would haunt me for the rest of my days. I reached for her, but it was too late. She was lost to the underworld, and this time there would be no return. Now I wander the world, my lyre heavy in my hands. My songs are filled with sorrow, the melodies haunted by her memory. They say my music can charm beasts and move mountains, but it cannot bring her back. My greatest masterpiece is my greatest failure, a love song that ends in silence. The gods are cruel, their justice sharp and unyielding. Yet I cannot blame them entirely. I was the one who faltered, who let doubt overpower love. That single moment of weakness has condemned me to an eternity of regret. I have tried to find solace in my music, but even it feels hollow now. Each note I play is a reminder of what I have lost. Mortals gather to hear me, their eyes wide with wonder as they are moved by the depth of my sorrow. They do not understand that every song is a piece of my soul, torn from me and laid bare for them to witness. Sometimes I wonder if I should lay down my lyre and let the silence take me. But then I remember her smile, the way her laughter would light up even the darkest day. It is for her that I continue, for the memory of what we shared. I cannot bring her back, but I can keep her alive in my songs. They say love is the greatest power of all, but they do not speak of the pain it brings. My love for Eurydice was pure, unyielding, and yet it was not enough to save her. Perhaps that is the true tragedy of our story, that even the greatest love can falter in the face of doubt and fear. I am Orpheus, and my story is one of love and loss, of hope and despair. I sang to the gods and moved the dead, but in the end, I could not save her. My music lives on, but so does my grief, eternal as the stars. My songs are all that remain, echoes of a love that defied death, but could not conquer fate. Perhaps someday someone will hear them and understand. Perhaps someday my sorrow will not have been in vain.